Hello everybody, and welcome back to Kirby's Return to Dreamland. I decided to take a little swim here. Well, Kirby did. I wouldn't have, because I can't swim. But in the previous episode, we defeated Wispy Woods and got the ores of the Lorecutter back, and completed the first two stages of Raisin Ruins. Now we should move on to Stage 3. Now, you might be thinking, well, where'd your power go? When you save and quit, I also think my lives reset, you lose your power. It's not a big deal. I'll take a rock here. It's just something to keep in mind if you ever play this game. You want a specific power. If you save and quit, you'll probably have to get it again. But there's a destructible block. You come down here, get a bit of food and a few stars. Sorry, I was just checking to see if there was possibly a secret right there. I'll grab a beam here. I'll just try and switch up my power as much as I can. I really don't want to just use the same power all the time. I'll also try and use powers that I wouldn't normally use. Like if the grass power shows up again. Leaf. I'll probably grab it just to use it. Because I'm not really going to use it much any other time. Now this part. To go the way you want to go, follow the stars. The stars will lead you the right way. Get a 1-up. I really like the music here. Swallow the sword. I know I'm barely spending any time on any of these powers, but sword is probably one of the most fleshed out powers. I mean, just to show you here, these are just the moves you can do with sword. I mean, there's a lot of things. Sorry, completion. It's very few other powers have this level of stuff. And I think it noted in there, but when you're full health with sword, you shoot at a sword beam. Like I said, it's basically the Link power. Here's Tornado. Power I don't think we've seen yet. I'm also not a really big fan of it, but I can see its uses. It is a movement power through and through. Come here. Oh, I forgot that was actually a thing. They give you a tornado right there, and there is our first gear for this stage. Now, the stages are going to start getting a little longer the further we go into this, so I might not be able to manage 3 stages an episode, but I'm still going to try for 3 per episode. Ugh. Tornado is such an awkward power. Like, it's kind of hard to explain when you're not, if you're looking at it, well, it seems pretty straightforward. You just press the button and control yourself. But it's a little more touchy than that. Here is one of my more personal favorite powers, purely just because of how fun it is. This is high jump, where you jump very high. Here, we want to go up to the middle to get our second sphere for the stage. Whoop, that guy hit me. Ooh, I did not mean to do that. I think this is going to be our first instance of having to come back to a stage. I could be wrong. Now we have our choice of cutter or fire here. And we get a maximum tomato. In a box. So I'm actually going to keep high jump. Because I think high jump is just a fun power to use. It's definitely a bit awkward. And there's a point later in the game where it's definitely the worst option. And I'll admit, as you might be able to tell, I'm not exactly the best with this power. But I'm not really the best with any power. Get this beam here. Now here's our introduction to cannons. They just fire us in the direction they feel like. Ooh, I just saw my power slightly thicker. This could be kind of bad. I'm definitely going to be ending this probably after 2 stages just to be safe. I'm not gonna have to come back. Huh. I thought I missed a sphere back there. Must have been a 1-upper or something. Here's an activated cannon. We have to tell it where we want to go. Basically follow the higher prizes. Go over here. Whoops. It's gonna take a moment. Okay, get more stars. Get to kill that Scarfy again. Go up here, and we get our final sphere. Up here, we need to time this. Oh, that's not what we want to do. I'll just tank this. I'll grab Whip here because the game's giving it to us, and, well, this is the end of the stage, but, yeah. About 8 minutes for the stage. That one feels longer than normal because it's a 4-sphere stage that isn't a Sphere Doomer stage, but, yeah. I actually think it's probably about the same length as if it was a Sphere Doomer stage as well, so. Just without the awesome power added in. We got to stage 4 here, which is a 5-sphere stage. With the introduction to enemies that are basically that mask from Super Mario Bros. 2. Only these explode. I am not the best at this. I'll just ignore the power there. Because here is our introduction to Bomb Kirby. Which I feel more throws fireworks than bombs, but... I'm going to hang on to Bomb here, because I don't think there's any required powers to this little area. If there's an enemy, they'll give Needle, as you might be able to guess. And right here, if we drop a bomb, it'll blow up, and let us into here. Which, this is an interesting puzzle. Now, we want to come down here. Ow. We want to clear that, I looked up their name, I can't think of it. Kubo or Kobo or something like that. Leave some bombs there. And then rush down. As you noticed, that switch has an incredibly quick timer to it. I really like things like that. We run through there. And here is a dark section, which looks a little strange to me because my TV's kind of going. It isn't showing up in the recording though, so that's great, because I can handle these slightly off colors. Effectively, my red and blue? Yeah, red and blue. Not red and blue. Yeah, the colors that aren't red in the 3 primary colors are going on my TV. I'll just leave my power. I think we want to go down. Nope. If you have the firepower going into here, you'll have a bit of a larger sight radius. We can use the candle to break those blocks, which is why I was so fine leaving my power behind. If you didn't know that, you might have been thinking, oh, what are you doing? You're not going to be able to get the sphere. I know what I'm doing. Kind of, sometimes. If you carry a candle through doors, it does just go away. Here we're given some food and a couple powers. I'm sure you know by now what's coming. Going to grab Cutter. Mini boss time. Water Galboros. One of my least favorite things to fight. Well, it's EX form anyway, which is effectively the hard form. It's really annoying to fight. Now it says to go back that way, but let's go back this way. There's water. Can destroy these avatars. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, this is going to be the first stage I need to come back in. So, I suppose I'll explain that now. Any spheres I miss, or maybe not, because there isn't a sphere here, it's in the next room. But any spheres I miss in the stage, I'll go back at the end of the world and pick them up. So, from here on out, I'm gonna probably try and have each world as its own kind of entity of... I'm going to try not to mix them as I have. Because personally I feel that just will get confusing to anyone watching. And I can't guarantee that that's how it'll work out. Because, I mean, if I can finish a world in, like, an episode, in one episode, well, not even one episode, it's not going to feel quite right to just end it, so I'll probably play with the formats a bit. And as you notice, this crystal, it lets you pass through things. Sadly, we can't take it with us, because we can't get back up with it. Well, I think we probably could have, just looking over and seeing the recording, which is a bit delayed, but it would have hindered our progress. So, no harm there. The game is giving us sword. Again, showing us how to cut strands. Here's Mega Sword. So effectively, that's what Sword can do. This is what Mega Sword can do. Well, Ultra Sword. Let it be known that I thoroughly enjoy these mega powers. They break up the pace so well, because, I mean, you'll have a lot of stages that are just normal stages. And then you'll have this, which leads up to, as you might remember, challenge puzzle, skill challenges. I'm not gonna bother to grab that little thing there. Yeah. Let's cut both of them. But it just gives such a nice change of pace. Right, I actually almost forgot that the thing was right there. I would have went right on past it. Ooh, this is the first introduction of one that goes backwards. Also, if you shoot stars back at that, it will knock it backwards. Which is a nice little thing. Not the most useful, because in the time it took you to do that, you could have just spatted it forward and kept going. Because it doesn't really make that big of a difference in how fast it goes. I'm continuing to do it here just to kind of prove that point. Right here, I'm gonna have to spit it forward because I need to knock this cannon down. Here is the first challenge I've routinely messed up with getting in here. With Lorecutter, I'll go. Well, I've used both on bosses actually. I think I'll go with sword. You'll notice with this one, whoops, I might need to, I don't know, I got sword back here. You notice in this one they have destroyable blocks, which take up a bit of the, terrain. They'll change up these fights. Well, you get to see what happens if you, die in one of those. Basically just spits you back out, you can just try again. I have no shame in losing to those, especially that one, because, well, you can fall down rather easily. Try and not mess this up as much. Ooh. I say that just as I mess up that part a little bit. On average, you'll likely get most of a life in stars if you collect most of them on your way through. So, even if you do die, you'll often get pretty close to getting another life. So, it does kind of pay for itself. Alright, I'm gonna go with Cutter this time. Sword just has to move around too much, in my opinion. And yeah, I can just kind of sit here and do this. And there we go. Cutter makes this one a lot easier. Generally with these, they'll give you the multiple powers, and one of them will make it really easy, the other will make it a bit more difficult. That one where Sword has to move around more makes it a little more difficult, because you'll generally, as I did, open the pits and fall in. Looks like today's just the day of twos. I guess the game knows this is the second recording session. This episode will probably be a little long, but I'm gonna keep going and do the boss of this world. We can now do the whip challenge. Oh, let's move on into the boss. Dun, 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 dun. I'll stop now. Give us whip, water, and high jump. I'm going to go with high jump, because I have faith in the high jump abilities of Kirby. this? Hey, he's beating himself up. Mr. Dooter. Who will kind of summon these little skulls, he'll throw them around. He'll go into fucking tornado mode. Which you basically just want to run back and forth quite a bit. Now he'll enter his second stage where he gets a lot taller. Whoop, I forget most of his tells. But we won in the end all the same. And that's mostly why I decided to include this boss fight. It's not a long boss fight, but we'll include the story bits here too, so let's go a little longer. I'm not going to continue trying to guess how long the videos are because I'm often wrong. Here we add this feather-looking thing. Unlike the ores, then it's only one of them. Oh well, at least it's something, right? You did it, Kirby! My star cutter has its right wing back in place. Once we find all the parts, this baby can fly again. Wasn't it just flying a second ago? I'll take you on a trip to visit my homeworld. I come from a distant land. It lies at the end of an interdimensional tunnel connecting to your planet. It's really far away, but the lore is a beast and can get us there in no time. I do hope you'll take me up on my generous offer. It is quite a generous offer. Now, come over here, and we have the first ability room, which holds these 5 powers. You can come and get them at any time. You can also test them against a little dummy that, as far as I know, can never die. At the very least, I've never managed to kill him. But that's going to be it for this episode. Which is, I'll come unlock this other ability challenge while I'm here. The whip one, they increase in difficulty, but in my opinion that whip one is probably the hardest to do. But I'm just the worst at whips, so that'd probably be why. But that's going to be it for this episode, so thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time for more Kirby Returns.